probably already pretty aware, that the trade relations between China and the U.S. have been, somewhat rocky here and there. But one area that is exploding and is very not just accepted but promoted by the current administration in China is this cross-border e-commerce platform. And this cross-border e-commerce platform is an amazing way for U.S. companies to get product into China without a lot of the headaches that come from traditional product registration and some of the other nuances that are unique to the China market. The main things that this includes are the basics of e-commerce purchasing. It's online ordering from a website. It's making payments, it's shipping the product, and then it's moving those products from the U.S. through a bonded warehouse in China to the Chinese customers. And so I'll on the next slide, I'll show you how this works, but there are two different kinds of e-commerce models. There's the direct mail model, where we mail products directly from the U.S. to the customer in China. And that obviously can take some time. There's another, and then the other is a more sophisticated, more user-friendly model, which is the bonded warehouse cross-border e-commerce model. And a bonded warehouse is essentially it's a warehouse that is protected in a free trade zone that stores all of our product that has been shipped from the U.S. and then significantly cuts down that shipping time from our warehouse to the Chinese consumer. So let me show you how this works. Okay, the reason we chose a bonded warehouse cross-border e-commerce was actually, the advantages are way better than doing a direct mail. It gives us direct access to the Chinese market, like I mentioned, without going through a lot of product registration hurdles and significant restrictions. It also allows us to build our own brand in China. So the platform that we're going to show you today is 100% LifeVantage platform. We don't share it with anybody. It's not like an Amazon or an eBay or like in China, a Taobao or a similar website where we're just one of literally millions of products on that site. This is our own platform that allows us to move our product directly to our consumer. Here's just a little bit. Let me show you. Like this is the significance of cross-border purchasing in China. In 2016, it was about $10 billion US, and just now, like just 3 years later, 2019 was 31 billion. So the amount of product flowing cross-border into China tripled in just 3 years. And these are not small numbers. Obviously, that's 31 billion US dollars. We're expected to hit 40 billion this year. And then next year, $50 billion. So, you can see that it's growing significantly. The compound average growth rate over the last 5 years will be about 33%. So that's huge. So this is a very common practice. This is a very widely accepted way to move product into China. So here's kind of the supplementation growth in the Chinese market over the last few years. This is current through 2016. These 2017 through 2020 are not final numbers, but you can see that the average growth rate is between 8 and 12% for the last 15 years. So supplementation in China is also a widely accepted and very commonly practiced part of people's lives. Like this is something that people do all the time. So we're in this really kind of sweet spot where we have made in the USA products that we're moving into China, and we're using very high quality, very effective supplementation. So it's really a great place to be. This market is not going backwards; it's only going upwards. So legit companies in China, And these companies have different responsibilities. One is in Guangzhou, which is a province on the south of China, just across the bay from Hong Kong. And the other is in Shanghai. The Guangzhou entity, that allows us to import products and to sell those products on our website and then ship them to the consumer. The Shanghai entity is where our in-market partners sign up. So they're not, even though they're not signing up as distributors, you can sign up as a VIP customer or as a social marketer. And that is the company, the entity with which they are signing up. And we'll go into those details a little bit further into this presentation. But those two businesses allow us to operate our whole business in China. So even though we're two different companies, it creates a seamless opportunity for people to participate in this country. So here's the official license to do business in China. This is our, we have two different company names, which isn't something you necessarily need to remember, but we have this one is in Guangzhou, and this was in our Shanghai office. So you can see there, similar. For those of you that can read Mandarin, you recognize they're basically business licenses, but two different licenses to do business two different ways. Okay, so here's just a few of the qualifications that we've had to establish in China, and why this process has taken as long as it has, because you have to start with the very basic. You have to register an organization or as a foreign trade operator. That's the very first step. That takes some time. Before you have to do that before you can do the inspection and quarantine record filing, and then you have to do that before you can register for what's called the China e-commerce or electric port Bei'an. Bei'an is just Chinese for notification or registration. And then we have to get a food business license. And then this doesn't include a lot of the other things like setting up bank accounts, funding your businesses with the proper capital, and just a lot of different things. So a lot of work has gone into this behind the scenes, and we won't show you all the boring details, but just know that all of this certification and all of these steps have been done so that you can do business in China without any concern about whether we're doing things the right way or the wrong way. Like, everything has been done to the exact specifications of the Chinese government, and we have not taken any shortcuts. We haven't jumped through any loopholes to make this happen. Like, this is all 100% on the up and up. There are two big things. And in China, most everybody uses their mobile device to access online materials and to shop and to communicate. Everything from social marketing to banking to communication through email or anything else. And the primary platform that they use is called WeChat. And WeChat is essentially a social platform, but it includes payment processing, it includes shopping, it includes communication. It's basically
有人你对我太好了。
Please， 你把自己 mute 一下，你们说话这边都能听见，会影响我们的 presentation。谢谢。
The WeChat platform it's kind of like having your Instagram, Facebook, eBay, Amazon, and bank info all in one convenient platform. So it's considerably more convenient than some of the platforms, some of the things that we use here in the United States, because it's all in one place. We also have a desktop version of the same thing, but the desktop version will be used much less frequently. But it's also important to have it because it also establishes our credibility in the market, and it makes sure that people, when you do want to shop on your computer, on your laptop, that you have a way to do that. So it's not exclusively on the mobile store, though I anticipate 90 to 95% of our traffic will come through the WeChat platform. Okay, here's just a little bit of, this is our third-party logistics partner. This is their actual warehouse. This is where our products will be housed and shelved. This is a super cutting edge facility. You can't really tell from the picture here, but they have all of the security, all of the protections that you would expect to have in a cutting edge modern day fulfillment center. And these guys are excellent at what they do, which is why we chose to work with them. Payment is a very important part of what we're doing. And as I mentioned, everything that, not 100%, but the majority, the vast majority of product is going to be moved through our WeChat platform. And so the most convenient way to make that happen is through WeChat Pay. Now, WeChat Pay is only available for local Chinese people who are using the WeChat platform. So even though a lot of this stuff will be visible to you on our WeChat platform outside of China, WeChat Pay is something that is only usable if you have the WeChat Pay app from China. So first we'll launch with WeChat Pay, and we expect most of our payments will come through WeChat Pay, but then Alipay, which it's kind of like thinking of it like Apple Pay and Android Pay. It's kind of a similar concept, but it's done through the WeChat platform. And the Alipay is similar. Alibaba is kind of like the Amazon of the USA in China. And so they have their own payment platform as well. So we'll be able to introduce that in a later stage of development. But from the get-go, WeChat Pay is by far the most requested and most important part of how to get the products paid for. So that's what we're going to go with first. One thing that you do need to know is that there are some limitations for cross-border e-commerce purchasing habits in China. Each individual purchase is limited to 5,000 RMB. 5,000 RMB is a little less than, it's around $700 US. And you can purchase up to 26,000 RMB without any tax implications whatsoever. This is kind of similar to when you're purchasing online and each state has its own taxation rules for things that you purchase online and ship to your home address. This is kind of the same idea, but there's this free limit, like tax-free limit that everyone in China enjoys, which is up to 26,000 RMB, which is a little less than 4,000 US dollars every year. Now that includes all purchases for cross-border e-commerce, not just from LifeVantage. So that's everything people buy on a cross-border e-commerce website of any kind, not just ours. So what we've done is we want to make sure our pricing is competitive, and we put together some packages to make it really easy. These are the products that we'll have available. They're all US products with US labeling. So the labels will not be in Chinese because these are cross-border products. These aren't Chinese registered products. And so the fact that they're cross-border means US product with US labels. And now all the information, all the product labeling, all the product information will still be available on the WeChat platform. So all of the things that you would want to have your customer get their hands on will still be available in a very convenient way. But just know that this is U.S. product being shipped from the U.S. and then delivered to our customers in China. Okay, but we have it all. We've got all the key things. All our main supplementation, as well as our skincare and hair care. This is the pricing, and these, if you look at the exchange rates, these are very competitive. These prices are very, and these are all inclusive as well. So a single bottle of NRF2 Synergizer is 390 RMB with 40 PV. That's very competitive with the U.S. price. That's essentially about the same price as you would pay in the United States, which is pretty cool when you consider we have to ship it all the way to China, but we can still sell it for that price. That's pretty cool. Here's some of our other, we have some other packages that are available, and these offer some great discounts, as well as being nice and convenient for the cross-border e-commerce ordering limits. You'll notice that, 5,000 RMB is the limit for a single transaction. So we have 3 packages that are, close to, but do not exceed 5,000 RMB. And that makes it really, really easy. Like, for example, 15 NRF2 Synergizer is 4,500, 4,548 RMB, or 15, 15. So basically what this means is that it's just easier for people to get their business done. They don't have to add individual products to their cart. They can just go on, click the package, make the payment, and then they're done. They're on their way. So we're trying to make this as simple and seamless and as easy as possible. Some of the things that you want to see in China, obviously, are the localized marketing materials and information. And that's absolutely something that we do have and will provide through primarily the WeChat platform. And this WeChat platform is essentially like your personal website, but all the information, all the product information, all the marketing materials, everything that you want to build your business will be housed there. We'll also have this online on the desktop version. But again, since most everybody is using the WeChat platform, then that's the primary source of all of this information. But it's really easy. All you have to do is you have to subscribe and then share it and then start earning. So it's really a simple process. Here's a couple of snapshots of some of the stuff that we have. One of the things that's really interesting about the China market is that they place a high value on and a high regard for products made in the United States. And so that's why you see a lot of US centric imagery and things that, it looks like our marketing in the United States, because that kind of builds the credibility and what the reputation of our company should be, even though we're selling these products in China. And so, here are the 4 steps. Very, very similar to what you do in any other market, right? But the first thing you have to do is you have to be in good standing. You have to be a distributor in any of our markets. Doesn't matter which one, but you have to be a distributor in a market that allows you to sign up as a distributor. And then you have to become a China ambassador. So step 2 is just to pay the one-time fee, take the one-time test. If you've already done that, you don't have to do that again. But that's a mandatory step, is to pass that test and to become a certified China ambassador. And that test is nothing you need to worry about too much. It's only it won't take you more than 15 to 20 minutes. And it basically ensures that you understand how we're doing business in China and that we can protect you and the company if anyone were to say any different. The third step is then you just start referring customers and let them start purchasing through our cross-border e-commerce platform. And then step 4 is start earning bonuses outside of China. The Chinese compensation plan is limited to a single level, but the volume done in China is more along the lines of what you'd see with our international compensation plan. It's different though, and I'll walk through how this works. Okay. You'll notice that in China, you can be a VIP customer and earn product credits, or you can be a social marketer and earn cash commissions. Okay, and this is how this would work. So a China ambassador is a distributor outside of China, and that's important because you cannot be a distributor in China. We don't do direct selling in China, so there's no such thing as a direct selling distributor inside China. The only things we have are customers, VIP customers, and social marketers. Legally, we're limited to a single level of compensation for a social marketer in China. Okay, so basically, they can only be paid on their own personal customers that they refer, and that percentage is pretty competitive. It's a good percentage, but it is limited. So this is how this would work. If you're a China ambassador and you have two legs here. VIP customers can refer other VIPs and other customers. Social marketers can refer other social marketers, customers, and VIPs. Okay, so to participate in this compensation, you have to have 200 PV. Okay, that's not unusual. You're used to hearing that. You have to be a certified China ambassador, and then these percentages are paid on the volume outside of China. So we pay 15% in China, and then an additional 31% outside of China. So this is a very lucrative compensation plan because we also pay the 4% on all China volume into the bonus pools as well. Okay, so there's potentially a lot of money going through the trees here. So 15% to the first upline China ambassador outside of China, then 5% level 2, 5% level 3, 3% on levels 4 and 5. And this follows the enrollment tree, not the placement tree, but the sponsoring tree. So your literal enrollment genealogy. So for example, if Sonia sponsored me and then I sponsored Key, then Key would be my first level. I would be Sonia's first level. Key would be Sonia's second level or third level. So second level, sorry. And that's but that's how that works. It follows the enrollment tree, not the placement tree. All right. You may have questions about this, but we'll cover that. Okay. The other really cool thing is that all of the volume done in China does contribute to your rank qualification. Okay. So if you're doing 100,000 PV in China in one leg, that counts. You can easily qualify for Pro 5, 7, 9, 10, whatever, based on your China volume. The other big advantage of this plan is that all of the volume done in China contributes to the bonus pool. So 1% each to the Pro 7, Pro 8, Pro 9, Pro 10 bonus pools. Okay, so even if you're not a China ambassador, even if you're not building a business in China, but you're an elite distributor, you can still benefit from all the volume that's being done in China because it does contribute to those bonus pools. Okay. Oops, I think we did that one.
This is a China resident for the customers.
Oh, right. This is how to do it as a Chinese national or a China citizen. You have to be referred to the products by either a VIP customer in China or as a social marketer. Okay, so it's not it works the same way as it does here in the United States or any other market, right? You have to be introduced. You have to have a sponsor in order to purchase products. Step 2 is you sign up to be a customer. And if you want to qualify as a VIP customer, you have to accumulate 500 PV. And accumulating 500 PV, you can do all at once or over a period of time. But once you become a VIP customer, you can start earning product credits that you can redeem for future product purchases. Once you're a VIP customer or a social marketer, then you can start promoting the LifeVantage cross-border e-commerce platform and earning rewards. Step 4 is just earning those rewards, whether it's product credits as a VIP customer or cash commission as a social marketer. And the big difference between the social marketer and the VIP is your qualification. So again, there are 3 different categories of customer in China. And we always refer to them as customers, even if they're a social marketer or a VIP. We don't refer to them as distributors. We don't refer to them as salespeople. They're all customers, right? The first kind of customer is basic customer. They have an account. They place product purchases, and that's it, right? They just enjoy the product, just like any of your subscription customers or any of your other customers that are just in it for the product. The VIP on this right-hand side, they have all the customer requirements, but they accumulate 500 PV. Okay? And it's, like I said, it's either a one-time purchase or you can accumulate that over a period of time. And then they have to agree to the policies and procedures to become a VIP customer, and then that allows them to earn product credits. Right? And they're going to earn 10% product credits back on every customer purchase that they refer. And then they can trade those credits for free product in the future. So it's great. It's easy. It's not, but there's no cash reward for that. But then it allows people to build the business essentially, but without being in the business. The third category of customer, and remember, they're all customers, but this is the most like a distributor that you'll find in China. Okay, so a social marketer is a customer that's done all of the stuff to be a VIP, but then they sign an agreement with LifeVantage China to be a social marketer. At this point, they have to provide a copy of their ID, right? Prove that they are who they said that they are. They also have to provide banking information so that we can pay them commission. And then they have to provide a copy of their IBE, which is essentially like an LLC or a personal, like a tax ID number, a business tax ID number. Once their commission exceeds 20,000 RMB, which it's actually about $3,000 a month, not 7,000. Because once you hit that, then there are certain tax obligations in China. Up until that point, we treat the taxation a little differently, but once you hit that point, then you have to register as a business in China, which actually is really easy to do. It doesn't take very long. It's really inexpensive. But that's how that. But those are the three types of customers. So again, customer just enjoys the products. VIP customer gets product credits as a rebate. Social marketer earns cash commission. Okay. So here's how the commission program works inside China. So if John here is on the left-hand side, if he is a VIP customer and he's referred 4 customers himself. One's a customer, one's a VIP, one's a social marketer, and then C and D are both social marketers, right? And they each purchase 40 PV. So he has a total of 160 PV that he's personally referred. He's going to earn 10% in product credits. So he's going to earn 16 product points that he can redeem for future product purchases. Okay. For a VIP, there's no monthly requirement whatsoever. There's just the one requirement, which is that you have to accumulate 500 PV at some, whether it's one purchase or over a period of time. Okay. On the right-hand side, you have Jenny, who's a social marketer. Okay. And she does the same thing. She refers 4 customers who each purchase 40 PV. She's going to earn 15% of 160, right? So 15% of 160 is actually $24, not 18. That's a typo we need to correct. And that's cash commission. Now, a social marketer does have a 40 PV requirement to be commission qualified. But that's the only requirement. You have to first become a VIP and then sign their social marketer agreement and then maintain 40 PV every month to be commission qualified. Okay. All right. Our return policy matches what's legally required for the cross-border e-commerce platforms in China. The customer has 7 days to return the product, and they have to return the product. It's actually kind of and this isn't our process. This is just the legal process that has to be in place. But they have to have a receipt, purchase receipt for the package, and they only have 7 days from the time the purchase is made. And then the customer has to pay for the return and the shipping and the tax and everything. So there's no product exchange, right? It's either it's a return or it's nothing at all. Now, we don't anticipate a lot of product returns here. We really don't, but legally we put this in place just so that it's, again, just everything is up to the standard. Everything is up to the exact specifications that the Chinese government has asked us to have. So We also have in-country support. This telephone number that you see is from your mobile device is essentially it's a toll-free number that's forwarded to our customer care team. You can also reach us through cschina@lifevantage.com, or the most convenient way is right through the WeChat instant message that's right in the WeChat platform. Okay. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. We've got lots of support. Here's a couple of things that you just want to remember. Okay, we're 100% cross-border e-commerce, right? Even though LifeVantage Corporation is a direct seller in every other market, we are not a direct seller in China. Being a direct seller in China requires massive amounts of licensing, capital investment, and, to be honest, a lot of time. And that's certainly something that would be way down the road in the future. So for now, right now, we are 100% cross-border e-commerce and e-commerce only. Our bonus plan in China, we refer to as a loyalty program designed for China customers. That's an important nuance to remember because that's legally how we need to refer to it. Loyalty programs only pay out one level, right? They only pay one level on any personally enrolled Chinese customers, right, in China. VIP and social marketer type customers can refer our products to other China customers, VIP marketers, social marketers, but they do not participate, they cannot participate in the LifeVantage international compensation plan. That's just not a possibility for Chinese citizens. That being said, if a Chinese national has an international LLC, say in Canada or in Hong Kong, they can sign up as a distributor in those countries and participate in our global compensation plan. But that makes them an international distributor and not a Chinese customer. Okay? You cannot have meetings in China without permission from the company. And that's really to protect you as much as it is to protect the company. Social gatherings, business meetings, gatherings of any significant size in China are very heavily regulated by the, they call it the Baoan, or the Gong'anju, which is the public safety department. So it's kind of like the police department, but their job primarily is public safety. And so large meetings are very regulated in the country. You cannot promote the direct selling business in China. Okay, so if someone's asking you about participating in the business and what the direct selling business is like, again, that's outside of China. That's international distributors only. And since we're in China, we're talking about China business, we're limited to a loyalty program in China. Okay, so your conversations need to be around that and not around how to build an international business. Okay. All right. So let's get to some of these questions. Eric and Kristen are asking, is it common for people to have an IBE certificate? And it actually is. It's not hard to register a business in China. In fact, the government encourages people to register businesses and to be entrepreneurial. So IBE certificates are not uncommon, and if they don't already have one, they're very inexpensive, very convenient to produce. Yeah, we did record this, and we'll have a professional version of this, and obviously we recorded this version too. So we'll have plenty of resources for you to go over and see this again. Let's see. Do we have anyone with that could do a call or Zoom if I get a Chinese customer? Yeah, I mean, if you want to start working in China, you're doing business in China, you absolutely, we have people here that can help with that. Yeah, you bet. So getting on WeChat, if you're on WeChat, you can get other people on WeChat and to be honest, I've never had a problem with WeChat or getting on WeChat or staying on WeChat. So I'm sometimes like, I don't know the best answer to some of those questions because I haven't had to to worry about that. But getting on WeChat, all it takes is a mobile phone number and then verifying that mobile phone number. So it's pretty easy. Yeah, I don't know about all these new restrictions. That's not something that I've had to handle. Yeah, Shengyin Youshi is our Chinese WeChat official account. You can search for that. In fact, you can just copy and paste those characters into your WeChat and find us. The materials are in simplified Chinese because in China, everything is in simplified Chinese. Hong Kong and Taiwan still use the complex character versions, but we use all the simplified in China. We use the complex in Hong Kong and Taiwan, but since all of this is in mainland China, all of it is in simplified Chinese. Okay, so sounds like I'll have to look more into managing WeChat and how to do this from the US because yeah, I haven't but I've been using WeChat for a little while, so maybe I'm under the old rules, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, if anyone registered like back a year ago, even those rules didn't apply back then. But I think
I did it this morning, and although I had to send it to someone who was on WeChat, it was relatively easy to overcome.
It's straight and simple. We can have organize another simple training for our US distributors to get familiar with WeChat, so you can utilize it.
So yeah, we'll have to learn more about that and see if there's anything we can do from our side to help make that easier. If you're talking to Chinese people in China, they've obviously been using WeChat for a long time, so they won't have a problem. But I wonder if the international participation in WeChat is growing so fast that that they're limiting how fast it can grow. That's not uncommon when things start to grow too fast that companies will throttle things back in China so that it doesn't grow too fast, grow out of control so they can't support it. So it sounds like maybe that's what's going on. Helen, I'm not sure. Do we have an existing database of distributors that speak Cantonese? I don't know that we know which of our distributors speak Cantonese or don't. I assume anybody who signed up in Hong Kong speaks Cantonese and Mandarin, but I don't know that we have a database that separates who speaks Cantonese or not. But yes, the shipping distribution center is in Guangzhou, but all of our business there is also done in Mandarin. Costa Rica Dave, thanks for jumping on. Volumes that I've seen in China in the past would probably blow your mind, but this is the first time that I've ever set up and built a cross-border e-commerce platform in China. When I was working in China before, we were operating in a direct selling model. So we worked really, really hard, spent a lot of money. We got a direct selling license, and we were, at our peak doing about $1.5 billion in revenue in China. So obviously there's a lot of potential in China. There's a ton of potential customers, and our products are very, very well received in China. It wasn't too many years ago that we actually had quite a few customers that were in China that were getting their product from Hong Kong, and we had to take a different route and kind of regroup and rebuild. And that's why we're going in now with this cross-border e-commerce platform. But yeah, the volume potential there is unreal. It's just, it's absolutely incredible. Multiple companies in our space are doing more than $1 billion in revenue in China alone. Companies like Herbalife, Amway, Mary Kay was doing not quite $1 billion, but they're doing great business in China. Companies like doTERRA I think is doing about $25 million a month, and they are not registered as a direct seller. So it's, yeah, lots and lots of potential there. Lots of potential. Let's see, any other questions?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. This is Shelley.
Hey, Shelley.
Hi. I know we almost we did the test and everything. So do you have a date when actually everybody can, you know, start referring this the 小程序?
Well, so we're in a testing phase right now. But the good news is if you have people in China on WeChat, that they can participate in this test as well. So we don't have an official date, but I would say it's very, very close. Probably within the next week to 2 weeks, assuming all of our tests go well. Like we've successfully tested the platform. We've placed product orders. And this was all done this week. So the only thing that we're waiting for now is just making sure that the product arrives to our customers properly and everything goes through the customs process as it's supposed to. So
okay. So we are waiting for people to receive it. And then so we know, right? So
yep.
Okay, I got
That's the last step.
Yeah. So after some people who did the test receiving the products, then we can spread, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's wonderful. But won't be this month, right? Will be sometime like first week of July.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could be this month if everything goes well. The problem that we have is that it's a holiday in China this weekend. So
yeah. Okay, so I understand because there's a lot of people still waiting and they are not participating in the test. So better be wait for a few days after the first group of people received it. Okay, yeah.
So
great.
Yeah, we're so close. We're really, really close, and it's really super.
Yeah, so it's good this time, Dave. I look at all those 小程序 and yeah, it's not difficult. It's so easy, you know, and it's good, and it's so fast. So
yeah,
it's really, really exciting. So sure, let's just wait a few days.
I know everybody's excited. We're super excited, but yeah, we just want to make sure everything's perfect before we go.
Yeah. So yeah. So nobody has any questions like before how to do this and that. A lot of difficult. This time is really so smooth in itself that 小程序 is good.
Yeah. Jesse's got an interesting question, which is yes, direct selling is legal in China, but to be a licensed and legal direct selling company, you have to have a direct selling license. And there are only, at this point, I think there are only 81 licenses issued. Right? So this is a really cool nuance, really cool part of our compensation plan. The China ambassador that's doing business in China, because we can't pay multiple levels inside China, it rolls up to that first level China ambassador. So it's kind of like capturing multiple levels of your unilevel pay, having a couple of business centers in your genealogy, and you earn 15% on that entire leg, not just that first person's purchase.
And the China ambassador needs 200 PV to qualify, but only 40 needs to come from the China ambassador, him or herself, right? The rest can come from his or her customers in the US or outside of US.
Well, the way that it's designed right now is that 200, the China ambassador has to have passed the test, and they have to have 200 personally purchased PV. That's the way that's built right now.
Oh, okay, from the person, him or herself. Oh.
Yeah, and that's a little different in the US. It's 40 PV personally, and the other 160 can come from your customers. in our other international markets, we don't have that same rule. So that's one of the differences in here versus some of our international markets is that wherever the product is purchased, that's the compensation plan that the product is commissioned on. So if you purchase products in China, it's on this plan. If you have somebody purchase products in the Netherlands, it's on the European plan. And they're almost identical, but they do have a couple of differences here and there.
Okay, thank you. And my one last question, materials in Chinese. So when we officially launch, we'll have all, the website and product materials and in the WeChat or on website available so we can share with family and friends. Is that
I didn't catch that last part of that one.
The marketing materials in simplified Chinese, whether it's an article about LifeVantage or our products. So all those will be available when we officially launch to the China market.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, a lot of those materials are already there, just waiting for us to go live.
Yeah, Dave, this is Shelley again. So I wanted to let everybody know that the China, that WeChat platform, LifeVantage, is very, very good. You can see right away the products and the products introduction, and also the 5 ingredients. What does that 5 ingredient does in Chinese? So it's really good. Like people will spend like a few minutes, will understand everything about products. So it's really good. Even you met a person, and just spend a few minutes, and then she will click, and then she will check first, and then she will, no more questions. She will say, okay, I will buy and try. So it's really good.
Thank you. We've worked hard to make it really, really good, and couldn't have done it without this group. We got a lot of feedback from the group, so thank you.
So, Dave, this is Christy. I have a question. When you drew on the whiteboard, you said that the person at the top, that's somebody that's a distributor somewhere outside of China?
Yep.
And they have to personally purchase 200 to participate in the 15%?
Yes.
Okay, but that's not the requirement for them, obviously, if they don't have Chinese customers. So if I sponsor somebody outside that has Chinese contacts, then I have to do 40, but I still get commission off 10% off him because I signed him up.
So if you